All right, guys. Today we're going to talk about argumentative writing. It's kind of what we've been leading to this whole week with the driverless cars thing. So you're going to apply the OREO strategy by creating a persuasive paragraph and just typing it into Google Classroom. Actually, you're just going to do it into slides. All right. So what we're going to do is imagine the new iPhone came out and you had to have it, right? What would you do to get your mom or dad to buy it for you? How would you persuade them? What are some reasons you would give them for needing it? So think about that. Oh, mom, I need this phone. I need it because it's faster. My old phone has a big crack on it. You're trying to persuade them. You're coming up with the reasons, right? That's the whole point. Um, all the cool kids have them. No, that's kind of a dumb reason. But you have to have good reasons to persuade them, right? If you have a dumb reason like, oh, my friend has it, so I should have it. Like, your parents aren't going to bite on that, right? They're going to be like, so? So you have to have good reasons. And that's just like it is in a regular argument. So persuasive writing is also known as argumentative writing or opinion writing. Persuasive writing tells your opinion. It's not a fact, it's what you think. So there's really not a right or wrong answer. It's just a matter of having the right amount of proof, like you think this way because you want to prove it, right? So why do we use persuasive writing? Well, persuasion is to convince someone to think or act in a certain way. So you're also seeing it in debates, right? Presidential debates. You're all seeing it even in class debates. I'm sure you guys have seen it throughout your English classes. Where might we use persuasive writing in the future and why it's important? It's used all the time in life. Trust me. Like when you explain to your boss that you need a raise, you need to persuade them. You need to have reasons. When you're trying to sell things to somebody, you need to have your reasons why it's a good sell, right? I'm not sure if you guys have ever had like people show up to your doors, oh, please buy this or something. Or some of you guys play sports and you have to sell those cards where you're going to be like, oh, here's this Downey High card. You can get discount at these stores. It's such a good savings, right? You're selling them. You're giving them reasons why they should buy it. Also, when debating on topics like who's the best soccer player of all time, wink, wink, up here. And if you can get good at writing essays, it will take you a long way in college and everything else. So one way to remember and a little strategy I like using is called the OREO strategy because Oreos are bomb and it makes me think about it. And each letter stands for something. So we have O for opinion. So you're going to tell how you feel about the topic. Clearly state your opinion. For example, I believe that lunch should be 15 minutes instead of 30. Right? That's an example of my opinion. The next thing is the R, right? R stands for reason. Provide logical reasons or information to support your opinion. So your reason can't be like if I say that I believe lunch should be 15 minutes instead of 30. My reason can't be, oh, because I like taking short naps, right? It doesn't really make sense. So students don't pay attention after lunch, but do after snack. That would be a good reason, right? Maybe you guys don't feel the same about that lunch should be 15 minutes instead of 30. That would actually kind of suck. I like having a long lunch too. So again, the second thing is your reason. So first your opinion, then your reason. Now the E is going to stand for your evidence, just like we talked about in yesterday's assignment, textual evidence, right? Evidence means information or statements from a professional, corporation, or organization, etc. So why is it important to use expert evidence? For example, Dr. John Bosco's studies show that children that spend more than 15 minutes outside have a harder time getting focused than children who spend less than 15 minutes outside. And then I said it's on page 45 of whatever book we're reading. But it's important because, I mean, I'm allowed to have opinions and make my own judgments on things, but I might not be a professional in certain things. If someone's asking me about cars, guess what? I don't know much about cars. So I can give you my opinion, but without evidence, without me saying, oh, look at in this article it says this, or this YouTube video is showing me how to fix the, transmission on this car and it says we need to do this. Like without me having those things to support my ideas, you're just going off my opinion, which has no evidence. So it's kind of hard to trust me, right? But we can trust the experts. So that's why it's important to use expert evidence. And why we use textual evidence, like the professionals are the journalists or people that are writing those articles for us. They're the ones that have done the research, and we have to trust them, and we have to go and make sure their research is valid. Because a lot of times in media, like people get a little bit fishy with what they're trying to sell us. So it's important for us to find like evidence that's professional. especially now with Facebook and all the stuff going on. There's always people throwing some random facts out there that might or might not be true. So you have to make sure it's coming from a reliable source and that you can trust the evidence. And then the last thing for OREO, so we had opinion, reason, evidence, and then opinion again. And sorry, the last thing is your opinion again. So you're basically just writing your first sentence again. So if you say, I believe lunch should be 15 minutes instead of 30, over here I would say, this is why I believe lunch should be 15 minutes instead of 30. I reworded it here though, but it says, this is why students should spend less time outside during school hours. And I actually don't agree with this. I was just messing around to try to get a rise out of you guys. Also on this last statement, when you are writing that or restating your opinion, you can use transitional phrases so we know it's the end of your paragraph. So you can say, this is why, or in conclusion, to sum it up, all in all, this is why. So you're going to use one of those and then put that sentence. So in conclusion, and you're going to write it, I believe lunch should be 15 minutes instead of 30. Or you can say, to sum it up, I believe lunch should be 15 minutes instead of 30. That's all you have to do for this last sentence. You restate it. You can just rewrite that sentence, or you can even rewrite it a little bit differently like I did. I'm saying the same thing. I just worded it different. It makes for a better paragraph when you do that. But if you just want to use it the same way, that's perfectly fine too. So I'm going to go through an example here. And my question is, this is just for a sample, who's a better soccer player, Messi or Ronaldo? So what is your claim? So my claim, I'm sure most of you guys already know, is I believe that Messi is a better soccer player than Ronaldo. And now, are you guys just going to take my word for it? Well, no, I need to have my reasons, right? And my reasons need to be backed up. So first, I can make my reason here. The reason I think Messi is a better player is because he scores more and, I'm going to word it like this. He is a part of more goals than Ronaldo. So now I have to find my evidence. So I'm making a big claim here, right? That he's a better player because he scores more, or he's a part of more goals than Ronaldo is. So he's a reason for more goals. So now I need to have my evidence. So I'm going to go to an article that I have here. All right, so this is just a little infographic. You guys obviously have articles and stuff and videos to refer to for the driverless cars. This is just like a little website. So you don't get to actually go and find your evidence or your own articles right now. That's something you guys are going to eventually do. I don't think in my class during the summer, but definitely in some of your English classes. So over here, we can look all competitions. It says there's 20, that Messi's had 31 appearances, 16 assists and 24 goals, right? And then Ronaldo's had 32 appearances, 25 goals and 2 assists. So he's part of how many goals total? 25 plus 2 is 27. And assists, for those of you guys don't know, it means they're the ones that led to the pass right before the goal. So like if someone's open right, you pass the ball to them to get them goal. So you're basically a reason your teammate scored. So as you can see, Ronaldo only has 2. Messi has 16. That means he passes it way more that lead to goals than Ronaldo does, right? And he only has 1 less goal than Ronaldo does. So this is just one part of data. Obviously, if you guys are actually debating this, you can talk about how they're in different leagues. He plays in Italy. He plays in Spain. There's all sorts of stuff you can bring in here to try to make your arguments. But even here, look at Champions League is everybody. It's all those leagues. And we have 6 appearances for Messi, 7 appearances for Ronaldo. He only has 2 goals. Messi has 2 goals and 3 assists. So he's a part of 5 goals here. So don't let anybody ever tell you Ronaldo's better, because we all know Messi is. And he's younger. He's like 3 years younger than him. So okay, that's a gazillion reasons I've given you guys why I think Messi's better. So I'm going to go back over here and pick one. So evidence from the text. So I'm going to use my transition, and it says use transition words. In the article it says, so I'm just going to say, in the infograph, it shows me that, I'll put comma, quote. Actually, you know what? There's no words here for me to actually quote, so I'm going to have to not do the comma quote. Maybe it's a bad example. But it shows me that Messi was a part of, and let me add them all up. 16 plus 24, that's 30, 40 goals, right? a part of 40 goals so far this year, whereas Ronaldo was only a part of 27 goals, right? 25 plus 2. So I'm giving you my evidence. This is my evidence. This is the data, right, to prove my argument. So in the infograph shows me that Messi was a part of 40 goals so far this year, whereas Ronaldo was only a part of 27. I like also explaining this. This proves to me that Messi is a bigger part of the offense. So I'm kind of explaining what my data showed me. That he's a bigger part of the offense, right? Bigger reason they score goals. So finally, restate your opinion using a transitional phrase. So I'm just restating it, and my transitional phrase, if I go back to opinion, was in conclusion, to sum it up all in all. So I get to pick one. I'm going to use the first one. In conclusion. In conclusion. And I'm just going to write, I'll put a comma here. I'm just going to rewrite my first sentence. So I got to write it again. I believe that Messi is a better soccer player than Ronaldo. The end. So that is my paragraph. So it's written out like this, right? Because we broke it down by each one. So you actually have to go to this next part. Oh, look at, you can see Messi in action, taking on a whole team. Oops. I love this video here. Jukes this guy. Keeps going. He started at half court, by the way. Or midfield, sorry. There we go. Jukes 2 more guys. It says 4. The goalie. And then this guy at the end. 6 people he takes on by himself. That's why he's the best. All right. So now we're going to put it all together. Type your 4 sentences together to make your paragraph. So my first sentence was, I believe that Messi is a better soccer player than Ronaldo. So I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to paste it in here into my text. Then I'm going to do my next sentence. I'm going to copy this. The reason, I think. So I'm basically just taking this and I'm putting it into a paragraph form now, right? Notice I'm clicking in. I'm clicking in this box 2 times. And I see this little dash before I actually paste it in. So I'm going back here. I'm going to take this, Control C. And take it in here. And Control V. And then my last sentence is this one. In conclusion. Oops. I went to the wrong one. I went to yours. So I'm going to go here. In conclusion. Now, after I did this, I'm going to go ahead and read my whole paragraph together. It says, I believe that Messi is a better soccer player than Ronaldo. The reason I think Messi is a better player is because he is a part of more goals than Ronaldo. In the infograph, it shows me that Messi was a part of 40 goals so far this year, whereas Ronaldo was only part of 27 goals. This proves to me that Messi is a bigger part of the offense. In conclusion, I believe that Messi is a better soccer player than Ronaldo. So that sounds like a pretty well-written paragraph, doesn't it? And it didn't take that much. We just had to fill out this little sheet, put it together afterwards, and then boom, I got a magical paragraph here. So that's all you guys are going to have to do. You have this right here for should driverless cars be legal. So state your opinion. I think they should be illegal, or I think they should not be legal. And then the reason why. The reason they should be is because it's going to help people be more productive, right? While they're driving. Or they don't have to actually focus on driving. They can be doing work. And then where in the article does it say that? So write that sentence down. Or what in the video, what does it say? So that's what you're going to have to do here. In the article it says, or in the video it says, or it shows me, and just talk about one thing it talked about. And then restate your opinion. This is why I believe that driverless cars should be legal or should not be legal. Get used to this, because we're going to do it again next week with a different subject. And that is it. And once you fill this out, you're going to have to type it in. I'm going to give you guys a different Google document, so you can just type it right into there instead of putting it into Google Slides again like I did. You're going to have it on an actual Google Doc where you got to type into. So hopefully that is it. That makes it easy for you guys. If you have help, or if you need help, please let me know. This has to be done, and so will the Google Doc that says your paragraph. Okay? All right. Have a good one, guys.